Hello again, and welcome to a very quick guide to shapes and sounds part 3. And it's quick because, well, you can see at the moment there is only one lesson. More will be added, and so I'm going to go over what you will find in that lesson and a few indicators of what will happen next. We are going to be looking at just section 1 at this point. After we have introduced the letter V, we will have a building speed activity. And again, as you can see, we haven't got very many letters because it is the start of part 3. But the end of the video lets you know where to go if you want to recap. And there is always the building speed routine where you are the teacher to practice all of the individual sounds. The sound can be explored in sound sorting and stretching words. Where your hands are together, you say the whole word, but you separate your hands as you say each of the sounds. And when you put the word back together again, you clap your hands as you say it. You can watch the video and practice on some of the words that you will be writing. There's also strategy words, a workout that gives you a choice. Will you be doing arm actions or will you be doing finger spelling? All of the words are the words that might surprise us a bit when we're writing because of what we need to remember. But you might prefer to use first sound spelling. You have a choice. When we are writing words, we will build up from words with just 3 sounds and 3 letters needed to write them, to words that are longer, and we will be thinking about adding suffix ing. You might also like to use cards to try out the words. And then writing sentences where we build a story that you can read to other people when you've finished writing it. And there is an additional activity, using the spelling choices that we have covered so far and writing sentences that build into a story. Lots of different activities. And in section 2, we start with writing words that use short and long vowel sounds, using the choices we've covered so far. We might have a spelling language for some of the words to help us deal with the fact that sometimes when we speak, we sort of partly swallow the last syllable, sem. And it's tricky to hear the sound, so what could we do? There's a suggestion. And other suggestions when we get to words like negative and positive. People can choose what sort of spelling language they use. Building speed 2, that looks at short and long vowel sounds, will be underneath writing words 2. There are also indicators at the end of the film for the things that we covered in parts 1 and 2. Writing sentences 2, we have a story called Doing the Best I Can. And you will be writing the story and then using a keyboard to type it out. You will also be coming across scent as a syllable. where the S is written with a C. And this will lead us into why we need the letter K, which is the next letter we will be looking at. We are introducing the spelling choice for the long vowel sounds A, I and O when we hear them in the middle of a word. We will be writing the words and then using some of those words in a short story. There's then reading words too, where one of the activities is finding the word that matches the picture. In Choices Check Up 2, we will be looking at spelling choices that we've covered so far, sound choices and suffix choices. The choices for the sound E were covered in part 2, but we'll be going over them again and learning the choices for A, I and O that we have covered so far. All this and looking at suffix ED. Part 3 will continue with these letters and learning to write them in a cursive style where we join the letters together. We will have consonant blends, sound choices, spelling choices, and suffix rules. Now, if that seems way too much, remember, we are doing this one step at a time, and you are in control of what you choose. Thank you for joining me.